Aaron Rodgers made a big show yesterday of coming into the stadium on no crutches and taking 3-step drops and throwing the ball 55 yards.
It's incredible. Nobody should be able to do that 54 days after an Achilles surgery. I'm sorry.
He's making a big show of it in a way that's just wonderful. It really is just going as if he couldn't throw on any other field. He can't throw privately. He's got to go onto that field and throw the ball 55 yards on Monday Night Football. It's the only reason to watch Monday Night Football involving the Jets.
Little J.J. Watt. I mean,
he's going to be playing football this year.
It's crazy.
Which it defies logic, and it probably defies better thinking on the matter. And we'll see what kind of quarterback he is with that injury. But the Jets said at their trade deadline, Joe Douglas went to the microphone and said the reason why they didn't make a move is they expect him back this year. He tells Derwin James after the game at midfield, give me a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
This is, for Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back, something that does defy medicine. He is at the forefront of something that is different, and I think that's what's the motivation here. That and getting back to his team, obviously, but this used to be a death sentence,
yes.
The Achilles. And for his career, it still might be because he still has to perform, and we'll see what that looks like. But the thought that you would tear your Achilles in week 1 and come back in the regular season, that's not a medical world we've ever lived in.
He's doing it all for the cameras. That has to. I guarantee he gets back under the stadium, he's like crying, sobbing in pain. It's hurting so much. You see him he's very gingerly doing it. He's doing it just so people are like, oh my God, could he do this? He's not going to be back in time.
Would you guys come back behind that offensive line? Because I would not.
No.
Like, people are getting on Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. It's not Zach's fault. He has no time.
It's a win for him if he suits up and takes another snap this season. Yeah. That's a big FU to the, in his eyes, to science and the medical community and the doubters and the haters out there. Look, I did something that no one's ever done.
I mean, it kind of is, though, right? It is a big FU to somebody who is like, all right, I'm going to put crystals and dolphin sex noises, and I'm going to come back like nobody's ever come back before.
Well, again, he has to perform because if he goes out there and looks washed, it's going to be a problem. But the fact that he's out there, that in itself is a dub in his mind.
Mike is already moving the goalposts. Like it's not only that he has to come back, he's got to come back and perform.
Well, I'm
to
saying
be good.
That's a fair thing to say to me. But also, I think part of the reason why someone doesn't come back is because they would play like crap. Right. Yeah, like I guess I could be out there in week 16, but I'd be a total shell and I'd risk re-injury. Like that still looms over this, but it's a fair thing to shoot in my face. Like, oh, he's just moving the goalposts on him. The reason why people don't come back at that time, maybe they feel the same way that Aaron Rodgers feels right now, is just they can't do the same things. And from the dude that's walking gingerly and taking steps, to think that would be an effective quarterback a month from now, that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know why he would come back prematurely. And it would be, if he comes back in the next couple of weeks, it's science-defying, it's ridiculous in a way, and his likelihood of re-injuring himself and ending his career is greater than if he is a normal person and tries to come back at the beginning of next season. It's just, there's no great upside to him coming back. The Jets aren't going anywhere. They've got a pretty good defense and a horrific offense, and I don't know if he alone, coming back from an Achilles, changes all that overnight.
Is it crazy to wonder if he never actually tore his Achilles?
Not at all. No.
Like, what if
Not
he just, because is a doctor going to come out and say he's a liar? I mean, there is benefit on a war on medicine. There's benefit here in saying, you know what?
That is
we
a
saw it
great
snap.
theory. We need to know.
We saw it
No,
snap.
it looked like it.
I mean, I've seen people get shot in movies that don't actually get shot.
You don't know.
No, you wear a prosthetic thing. Someone pushes,
I don't know what's real on the
thing, and then
internet
all of a sudden-
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real.
What if? We're just asking. I'm not even saying I believe that. I'm just.
CGI. I'm ready
It's
to
a fair
make,
question.
I wish I was wearing some sort of costume. I'd be willing to seriously put out the conspiracy theory.
Mankind's available if you want it.
Better than the theory that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is a propaganda concoction by the NFL to drive ratings. To throw out the conspiracy theory that Aaron Rodgers, since he went into the darkness retreat, all he found in the darkness is I must come back hell-bent on beating science.
Well, hold on a second, Dan.
It
goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that. So he was away. He was on the wellness retreat, right? Darkness retreat. He starts concocting things, scheming, if you will. I wouldn't, but if you will, scheming. And he says, you know what? I need someone someone with some integrity, someone with some hoof to get behind this with me. Let me reach out to Adam Schefter. And then I will tell him what's going on, and then I will publicly have a falling out with him in which I tell him to lose my number.
Ooh, I love that.
And then week one happens, and we're wearing the prosthetic or whatever it may be on the leg. Someone does the thing that makes the action that you can see in slow-mo.
Prosthetic.
Then you go to, whoever, Dr. McGillicuddy or whatever. I don't know what he was up to that day. And then you say, what, Shefty? Now's the time. Code green. And then he goes and he puts out the tweet, confirmed, torn Achilles. It's out there.
So
and
hold
then
on.
he goes on vacation to Germany or wherever it is that he had that thing done to his leg. And then he talks about the Dolphins, which he just spent the time. Because that was also in the darkness retreat. He said, what's the most ridiculous thing that I can say that people will believe because they think that I'm crazy? Man's an evil genius. And then he says, I could just say that Dolphins having sex will fix my Achilles. And then I'll, take off some time. I'm not going to risk actual injury while I'm there playing for the Jets, the AFC East, because I had some time to think. Maybe not as tough as everyone's predicting it's going to be. I could see the Dolphins.
It's going to be a
mini.
it'll feel like a mini holdout against. They're not allowing my request of I wanted partial ownership
Correct.
in the team when I came over there, and so I'm just going to protest by taking their money, sitting out. And I disagree with Mike. I don't think he has to perform. He just has to perform better than Zach Wilson.
Well, that's not hard.
And right now, that he may be a better option.
And if he performs better than Zach Wilson, he's heroic for getting out there and giving them hope and trying and beating medicine. All he's got to do is more than 6 points a game.
You made me evolve my take on this, both you and Tony. You're right, because Peyton Manning won a second Super Bowl not being good. And it's a huge part of his legacy, and he'll always be reflected on kindly by Broncos fans. So, yeah, you're right, and that's not a high bar that he needs to clear.
And he has lowered expectations to the lowest place that they possibly could have been after he started, because the season looked like it was ruined as soon as he faked that Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No doubt.
Right.
It's
Good
a
choice of
hamstring.
words, yep.
I think I'm going to surprise you, given my recent takes on Aaron Rodgers. After talking this out,
Hammy.
It is.
after talking this out with you, I'm rooting for him to do it. I'm rooting because it'd be pretty rad. It'd be
Save
comeback
the day?
It'd
Yeah.
be, he'd somehow win comeback player of the year, and the previous dude died. Like the previous favorite died on the field and came back. And I think you'd still have to give comeback player of the year to Aaron Rodgers.